welcome to another episode of Pound for Pound Boxing Report, episode 111. I am your host, Michael. Joining me on the show this week, the one and only Doodoo Brown. Jay Dill joined us live from the Midwest. Daniel joined us from NY. Sean Newton joined us live from Taiwan. And new to the show, Francis and Joe for Boxing News. What's going on, ladies and gents?
Howdy.
For those who are new to the Pound for Pound Boxing Report, Pound for Pound Boxing Report is a live YouTube show / podcast / blog, that discusses all things boxing. The motto is, when boxing is good, we will talk about it. When boxing is bad, we will talk about it. Bottom line is, if it concerns boxing, we will talk about it. If you want to find information about the Pound for Pound Boxing Report, where you can find it all over the internet, all over social media, all over the interwebs, just check out the blog page, p4pboxingreport.wordpress.com. If you look to the right of the blog page, you'll find links to where to find us all over: Facebook, G+, YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, Pinterest board, the RSS feed, link to find us on Stitcher Radio, on Flipboard Magazine, the email address, which is p4pboxingrpt@gmail.com. Lastly, you got links to find us on SoundCloud and iTunes. We're new to SoundCloud and iTunes, and check us out there on both SoundClouds and iTunes, and make sure to leave us a review, what we're doing right with the show and what we can do to improve the show. Let's get the show started. I want to go to Francis and Joe up for account news. Since they're new to the show, I also thank Isha for joining us. She just joined on with us. Thanks for joining us, Isha. Back to you, Francis and Joe. We're going to talk about the big news, the big fight over the weekend. Deontay Wilder 9th round TKO over Szpilka. Wilder had some problems early with the style of Szpilka, particularly in the first 4 or 5 rounds. But over time, he found his distance. He found some of the punches that he can land with the jab. I think, for my taste, Szpilka got a little bit too aggressive for my taste, and he paid for it eventually in round 9. Getting caught, splattered all over the canvas like pancake batter via a counter right hand. Your assessment of what went down Saturday and at Barclays, your thoughts about Szpilka and the way he performed, and as well as Deontay Wilder and how he looked.
Well, that Wilder, he ended it with a bang. I mean, he's got power, that's for sure. But up until that punch, I didn't think he looked that great. And Artur Szpilka, I thought, gave him a good fight. And had a good strategy going in, and it was frustrating Wilder early, and he was in the fight up until that right hand, and that's what Deontay Wilder brings. He brings power, and man, that was a highlight reel knockout. So for Wilder, I think it's good because he gets the highlight reel knockout that he was hoping for, but I just prefer to be honest, I didn't think he looked that great.
I agree. Going to the fight, I thought that Szpilka, I thought he was very aggressive opponent. I've seen him fight live, and I thought he was going to give Wilder some problems in that he's really good at bobbing and weaving, moving around the jab, and trying to land a powerful left hand. The problem is that he didn't throw it enough, I thought, on Saturday night, and I thought that cost him dearly. I think he used the jab, but I mean, that's kind of like a judo paddle jab. That's like the kind of jab you throw when you're trying to set up a big left hand, you're trying to set up a big hook. The problem is that nothing substantial was following those jabs, and I think it cost him dearly. So, in terms of the knockout, I mean, he made a mistake. As I stated previously, I thought that the knockout reminded me of Pacquiao getting knocked out in his fourth fight from Martinez. It was the same type of knockout with Deontay Wilder leading Szpilka to the ropes.
He sound like Charlie Brown, y'all. Womp, womp, womp. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I can get him. I'm adjusting here, so go ahead. I can get him. Go ahead, Francis.
Sure. And the problem is that the hook that Szpilka threw, it was just such a wide hook. I felt that Wilder could see that coming from a mile away. It would have been a shorter and a more compact hook if he had landed there first. But that was his biggest mistake. I think he learned something like that. I don't think you should be throwing wide punches like that. I think you're just asking for a big counter right hand, which is exactly what he got. And that's how the fight ended. Putting Szpilka in a very terrible position. But I was very confident he would some problems going into the fight, but other people saw him as more of the underdog.
I'm gonna go to you, Dale, open up your mic, and then you can follow up Doodle Brown and Isha. Open up your mic, Dale, because when we were talking about this fight last week, you basically said it was 50-50 going in. You proved to be pretty accurate here, as I said before. Wilder, he had his problems with Szpilka, to Francis and Joe's point, before finally knocking him out.
I think Deontay Wilder set up that knockout since the first round. He's just had a really well control from the first round.
I'm having some issues hearing you, Dale. I'm having some issues. My apologies. I'm having some issues hearing me, so I'm going to go to first you, Isha, and then you, Doodle Brown. Your assessment of what went down. Unmute the mic, Isha.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Arthur had a good game plan coming in. Like, up until the 9th round, I actually had him winning it, like, I think it was, 4-. No, I actually had it tied by the time it got to the 9th round. And, I don't know, I just think his irky-jerky style kind of threw Deontay off because he looked really, really uncomfortable and confused in there. And it took him a long time to get adjusted to what Arthur was trying to do. And like you said, Arthur got too aggressive and just got whacked. And I don't know, I don't think Arthur would have won it on points because of, politics or whatever. But I did have him winning up until then. I enjoyed the fight. I was a little annoyed with Deontay because it's like, what happened to the Deontay that was fighting Stavern, that was using his jab, that was, doing different stuff like that and stuff. Why all of a sudden now is he like just headhunting in every fight that he's been in since the Stavern fight? It's beyond me. Why not just stick to the thing that got you to where you're at? But he caught him with the lucky counter, and that was that. Murder she wrote with the pirouette.
I'm going to you, D. Piggyback on Isha's point about how she was annoyed with the performance of Wilder. Do you think that he was just too anxious to try to go in and try to knock Szpilka out and didn't set things up?
Yeah, he wasn't trying. He was looking for a knockout the whole time. Szpilka was he came in with Ronnie had him ready. Shields had him ready. I must say, he looked great. I've never seen him I've never seen him move like that. He was all over the place. He was going side to side, dipping, changing levels. But when he got inside, though, his punches really weren't that effective. But he was doing everything he needed to do. I thought he was wasting a lot of energy. But Wilder was just looking for a knockout. He a little dude, he just trying to time him. He couldn't really time him until later on the round when Szpilka got a little tired after all that movement. He was finally able. The corner was like, Szpilka's leaning over to the left. Right before he knocked him out, right before he came out, his corner was like he's leaning up to the left, catch him when he's coming, and exactly that's what happened. Szpilka's leaning up, he came out too far trying to roll up on his punch, and he saw he saw it, he saw everything he was doing, and he timed it. As soon as he came up without his hands dropped, and he thought he was gonna throw that right hook over here right on Wilder, he caught him, boom, and he put his whole body in that motherfucker, man. He almost tore his fucking head off. I was like, God damn. I was like, he gonna kill this motherfucker. And he laid on that mat. How long he laid on there? He was out at least 10 minutes, at least. Oh, man, I thought he was gonna kill him, shit. But it was a good fight, man, all until he knocked him out to me. He just wasn't effective to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go to you, Daniel, and then you, Shawn. Your assessment of what went down.
All right. Well, when you think about it, it brings up Bill's point that he brought up last week about Wilder tending to fighting down to his competition when it comes to elites, because Wilder could have done a lot better. He could have used the distance, used the jab a lot more. Part of it to me probably is the fact that he was fighting the southpaw, and he hasn't fought a southpaw. He admitted it in 3 years. So he's not used to that movement, and you got to give it to Szpilka too. He moved really well lateral. He moved his head really well, and he was catching Wilder from time to time with some good shots.
But Wilder, luckily, particularly with the left hook, was able to block them half the time. They would have put his hand up, block him so it either hits his elbow or hits his glove. But I think from right around round 5, round 6, you can tell that Wilder figured it out. He started using a little bit jab more. He started finding the openings he needed for the right hand. And then, like I said, near the end of the ninth, boom, laid out flat. And that was, in real time, it looked scary because Szpilka, with his eyes closed and not even moving,
Yeah, that looked
scary in real time. Luckily, he said everything so far is okay, but it wasn't exactly Wilder's best performance, but I don't think it was his worst either.
Shawn?
No, it was exciting when he knocked him out.
I agree with Daniel. I mean, I thought the solution or the key to making it an easier fight for Wilder would have been using his jab more. You know, initially I didn't see the fight live. I watched it afterwards because I was out. But when I heard everybody talking about how Szpilka was winning, some people felt. When I watched it, I thought Wilder was winning easily. He was landing all the clean shots, all the big shots. I mean, of course, Szpilka was making it difficult. He came in with a strategy. He tried to use it. He tried to make it difficult for Wilder to land solid shots for him. But overall, I thought Wilder did what he needed to do. He established his punches. He established range. He made it very difficult for Szpilka to get inside. I mean, a lot of the punches he was trying to throw were big looping shots, and they didn't seem to have too much behind them. And then,
Right.
you know, he finished it very big, you know, which was great for him.
I'm going to go here with Isha first, and then I'm just going to open it up to everybody else. As much as the fight itself and the knockout, sensational one-punch knockouts again that matters, the big talk afterwards was the fact that Wilder and Tyson Fury got into it after the fight. Jim Gray called Fury into the ring, and Fury doing what Fury does. You knew he was going to start something, and basically stuff popped off, and Wilder gave the line of the night as far as I'm concerned, and that's in turn is the name of this episode. I will baptize you. Again, I'm going to start with Isha, and everybody can chime in afterwards. Your thoughts on what went down? Did you like it? Do you not like it? Is it good for boxing? Your assessment of that moment.
I mean, yeah, it's good for boxing because it gets everybody pumped up or whatever the case may be. I for one, I can't stand that nonsense. It irks the heck out of me. But I don't know. I also dislike Tyson Fury, so it's like a double negative for me. So he's just basically just all mouth for no reason, always huffing and puffing. But I don't know. It's I can live without it. Just like the whole with Broner thing, that's aggravating to me as well. So I don't know.
Are you talking about that tweet in response to the Fury thing?
No, just how the whole the ignorance to me is just kind of ignorant. Like I didn't enjoy it when Ali did it either. So it's just I don't like all the showboating. I don't know. I don't like all that weirdness.
I'm just opening up to.
Yeah, I know that's part of boxing. That's why I say it's good for boxing because it hypes everybody up. Just like when it happens in the WWE. I mean, that's part of the entertainment. You're selling yourself. You're getting everybody pumped up. You're promoting what can possibly be coming up, you know, in the future. So I get it. Do I like it? Not so much. I think maybe if it was like done at a different time, like he just, you know, the dude's celebrating his knockout. I mean, let him have that piece.
Yeah, that was disrespectful, but I mean, it was cool too. I thought it was funny.
That's exactly. A lot of people, you know, the back and forth between it. Yes, it was funny because you know you got Tyson Fury, you know, trying to overtalk him, blah blah blah, and then you got Deontay with his big mouth trying to overtalk. I will baptize you, running around here like a preacher, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's hilarious. But do I like it? I can live without it. I can't say I'm not gonna say I dislike it. I can live without it. To speak.
Francis, Joe, Daniel, Shawn, I'm open. Everybody, open up your mics. Excuse me. Your thoughts on that moment after the fight, which had boxing Twitter buzzing.
You know, I personally like this because them I can see PPC or whoever playing commercials for that. They didn't have to break between Fury and Wilder. So just those sound bites, I could see that being good commercials, hyping up a future fight, and like the other young woman said, I don't personally like it, but I think it's good for boxing. Just because it gets casual fans excited when they see stuff like that.
Agreed. I think he dislike is very authentic and it's very real. The rivalry between them, which is what makes it so interesting. If I thought it was just
Really emotional.
I'm sorry. Yeah, if I thought it was just something phony or something that was just, premeditated, I wouldn't feel very interested. Like, seeing the tweets going back and forth over the last couple of years, there's definitely a genuine dislike like that. And I think it would be a great thing for boxing. I don't like personally, but I think it's very being part of the respect both of them.
Y'all like people be quiet like Klitschko and shit. They like boring people like Klitschko or something good. I love it when they go off. That's boxing. That's emotion. You know what I'm saying? You talk to me, I'm talking.
Yep.
Daniel, Shawn.
I like it when it's genuine. I don't like it when it's scripted. This wasn't scripted. Because first of all, Fury came in on his own. He just showed up on his own. If you're given a credential, you just can pop into the ring, and him being heavyweight champion of the world, you're automatically given a credential. So
he was broke too.
Yeah. So he's gonna go in there, and he did what he had to do, but you can tell the animosity is genuine, and you can tell when they got in, because when you notice that Fury's listed like 6'9", Deontay 6'7", you couldn't tell the difference between them. They were literally nose to nose, eye to eye, when they were talking about it. And I give Wilder props for coming up with the perfect, like I said, I will baptize you counter to whatever the crap Tyson Fury was saying. Is it good for boxing? Both yes and no. Yes, because it promotes the heavyweights. We know, unfortunately, for a fact that Americans tend to care more about boxing when it's the heavyweights involved, especially when the American has a title. It's bad at the same time, though, when that outshines the actual match. Like that technically did outshine everything on that card, for better or worse. Well, better in the case of Glazkov, that was just obscene fuckery right there. But at that point, it's good, and it's said, and there's a chance. Like I actually put something on the inscriber a couple of days ago. There's a good chance because Wilder likes to fight at least 3 times a year. You could see Wilder Fury if they take care of business. You could see that likely November or December, the end of the year.
Shawn?
You know, after the whole Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao thing, I think this is the best thing that could happen to boxing. I mean, these two guys are basically sort of putting some new energy into it. You know, reviving the whole heavyweight division. You know, people are funny. You know, people are giving the heavyweight division such credit now, but 6 months ago they were saying it was a crappy division. But now you see everybody on the YTBC talking about how stacked it is. But literally 6 months ago it was crap and one-sided, and there was no competition when Klitschko was dominating. But now, thanks to Fury beating Klitschko and his over-the-top personality, and Wilder, who's just knocking the shit out of dudes, and also has a very flamboyant personality as well. I mean, these guys are great. And then you have the guy in the U.S., the guy in the UK, you know, both basically in the last 20 years, the 2 strongest countries to dominate the heavyweight division. You know, no offense to Klitschko and Lithuania, but you know, obviously Tyson and Lennox Lewis I'm referring to. And now you have these 2 guys building up for what is great for boxing, and what's really going to bring a lot of casual fans back. It's really going to sort of energize, and it's making people forget sort of the letdown a lot of people felt in the summer based on a fight that was a big build-up but sort of anticlimactic. And now you get all of this.
Everybody keep talking about letdown and glorified. What was the fucking letdown, man? What, the Ford didn't get knocked out? Well, tell me what was the letdown. I'm tired of hearing it.
That's
you fall boxing, you don't have 4 fights. But what was the letdown?
That was it. You just said it right there. People.
What the fuck doing Floyd? What the fuck you mean?
And they weren't
That
happy.
pissed me off with that shit, man. Fucking quit comparing Floyd to every fucking thing in boxing. He retired one time. Shit.
Dude, people were disappointed because the fight was not really that exciting. Floyd won. He did what he does. That's fine.
My ass on everything. He ain't do shit. Fuck them Calgary fans. They don't follow boxing. That's their goddamn fault. All y'all pissed about he didn't get knocked out. That's it. Point blank.
Maybe you should stop being personal and think about the big picture.
Ain't personal. I'm just tired of hearing it. They don't come up with something else. Boxing is boxing. Motherfuckers get that there all the time. Judges ripping motherfuckers off every day. But fighters off every day. Shit, is that Floyd's fault too?
But you're missing the whole point.
No, I ain't. I don't see no goddamn point.
No, you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point. How well did boxing do after that fight? A super fight.
Goddamn Deontay. Tell me
Hey,
that.
hold on for a
How
minute.
Floyd come up between you talking about Deontay Wilder and heavyweight? What Floyd got to do with fucking heavyweight? Tell me that.
What?
That's all I want to know. Y'all compare him against everybody. Y'all Carter, that motherfucking MMA motherfucker. I'm sick of all y'all motherfuckers talking about Floyd. Floyd is shit. He's shit.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yo, son, she got me in tears, bro. She got me in tears.
Okay. Let me say this.
Damn, you just had a nerve.
Let me say this. I'm more with Isha and Daniel on this. I don't like it in the aspect that of Wilder, of Fury and who he is, and this was happened right after Szpilka was out, and we didn't know if he was really okay. And then for Fury to come in and pop that stuff off wasn't cool with me. And the part I did like is the fact that, in my opinion, Fury is a bully. He tries to say things and uses his mouth. Yes, he is, Sean.
But
he tries to. He
boxing.
So
wasn't Tyson a bully? Wasn't Liston a bully? Wasn't Foreman a bully?
I didn't necessarily like them either. So, okay, what you want for that? A cookie, a donut, or a biscuit?
I bully. I'm a bully. I want a motherfucker going there and knock your ass out. He fucking murder motherfucker. I hate these dancing ass heavyweights. What the fuck a heavyweight out here dancing for?
Let me finish.
6'9", 230 pounds, damn.
Let me finish, D. Let me finish. To me, Fury is a bully, and I like the way that Wilder he responded. He's responded like a real champion, like a real fighter is supposed to do. You don't let anybody come into your ring after you fight in your moment and try to take over like that. And the way that he came back at him, okay, I like that. He didn't let Fury come in and intimidate him. And that's the thing that was cool to me. Now about Floyd, okay, the disappointment, I get your point, Sean. But a large part of that had to do with Pacquiao. Let's be real on that. And what he didn't do. Everybody knew what Floyd was going to do, and the onus was on Pacquiao to change that, and he couldn't do it. So all the a lot of that disappointment comes at Pacquiao's, at the feet of Manny Pacquiao.
Nobody's pointing fingers. I'm just pointing out the fact that.
He walked that motherfucker down. He boxed. He went side to side. He did everything in that goddamn fight.
And the reason and the disappointment. Okay, a lot of that comes from casual fans who really don't follow the sport anyway. So I take that with a grain of salt. I take that with a grain of salt because a lot of folks they really didn't pay attention to what Floyd does. You have to put it this way: you had a lot of new quote unquote fans watching that bout, expecting entertainment, expecting one type of fight, not paying attention, not doing their due diligence, and when they didn't get it, they were pissed off. Okay.
Yeah, they were expecting to knock him out. That's it. They hate Floyd. They were expecting to get knocked out.
That is more on them and their lack of knowledge more than it is on the fight itself. Because if you really paid attention, it went basically the way that everybody thought it was who really followed both of them.
That's pretty much what it is, Mike. The other thing was, mainly when it comes to Pacquiao, it's the emotional investment that people put on Pacquiao to knock out Floyd, and the fact that people were disappointed that Floyd fought his fight. Fought it well, and he beat Pacquiao 9 rounds to 3. And that emotional investment, a lot of people, because for 5 or 6 years they were saying, Manny will knock him out. Manny's going to knock him out. Manny's going to knock him out. And people were pissed.
And Pacquiao wasn't on the goddamn, he ain't been on the Superman juice. He ain't been on the fucking juice how long? He ain't knocked out nobody.
Now Floyd won.
And when I look at it,
hands was good, he would have knocked his ass little ass out before he got bad hands.
and if I look at it, if they were to fight 10 times, the fight would basically go the same way each time.
Okay.
So who is that on? Them or the folks who spent all that money foolishly to watch, expecting it to see Gatti Ward or something?
But the point wasn't that. The point's not pointing fingers at Floyd or Manny. The point is, for boxing for 5 years, this was the big thing where everything went into. And then it was disappointing. Regardless, even Floyd fans, they're happy their man won, but they didn't think it was an exciting fight, a great fight. And what happened is,
I enjoyed it.
well, because your man won. But the point was, wouldn't it have been more exciting? Couldn't it have been a better fight?
But
because
again,
you're failing to think about the whole point. You know, the thing about a fight like this can build or break boxing.
I'm never going to be on your level. People like Floyd. I'm just talking about Floyd. So I would never be on your level, motherfucker.
I was more, I put it this way, for me, I was more disappointed in Floyd's last bout with Berto, because he could have chose a better opponent to go out than I was at anything than Floyd and Manny, because I knew what was going to happen.
He just picked him up, but he didn't care. He just fulfilled his contract. I didn't give a fuck. I wanted him to fight somebody else, but it didn't happen. His last fight was for the brother. Thank God. He made all his money off Mesker's back. Anyway, his whole career. I would just have to see a brother in that motherfucker. Let somebody else get some goddamn money. I don't know. I'm a fan.
Let's move on.
I love the way you talk.
Let's move on and talk about
the whole point is heavyweights it's a good thing for boxing. That's all.
Yeah, that's why I said, the Floyd Manny thing, okay. But we get an excitement level in the heavyweight division with Wilder, with Fury, with Ortiz, with Anthony Joshua. Let's put it on that. Yeah, let's put it on that. Let's move on this heavyweight division. Let's move on and talk about. I'll go to you on Daniel. This farce of a conclusion. Charles Martin, Glazkov going down off of a non-punch, seriously hurting his knee. I'll go to you, Daniel, and then to you, Francis and Joe. What was that?
Okay, first let's first get into the whole gist of the fact that this should not have been a title fight to begin with. This one you can blame Kathy Diva on, because she's the one that pushed for Glazkov to get a mandatory shot and had the IBS with Fury, knowing full well that Fury was going to take the Klitschko rematch because it makes economic sense. But now you got this fight with Martin, and then you got the fact that he went down, that Glazkov went down on a non-punch, and to the extent that his injury was, it was a torn placenta, a dislocated knee, a torn ACL. I was surprised the man was able to walk after that injury dropped. But now you got Charles Martin.
I just show y'all Charles Martin got power. He hit that motherfucker. That shit went all the way through his body and fucked up the
hit that. No, when he hit him the second time. But the thing about it is, he really didn't deserve a title shot. And the IBF's not going to declare this a no contest because it wasn't a foul. So they did two things on this. First, they didn't do a no contest, and now they're giving a year for Charles Martin to fight his mandatory. And that's pretty much the IBF saying, promoters, bring your bribes. Because somebody's going to get that mandatory shot, and I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be Anthony Joshua now. So that creates a whole lot of mess, but at least hopefully it'll end up with somebody that's actually good, Joshua getting the title.
I go to you, Francis and Joe. We talked about this fight on Daniel's show over the weekend. I'll ask you the same thing I asked Daniel. What was that, and do you see anything from Charles Martin afterwards that could say he could do something in the heavyweight division?
Well, Charles Murray throws a nice punch, but I don't know. But from what I saw, he certainly doesn't look like a top 10 heavyweight. But maybe it's not because it ended early, so we really didn't get much chance to judge. I felt bad for Glazkov because yeah, he looked like he finally get a title shot, and then boom, you get non-boxing or non-punching injury really. So I felt bad for him. And in a way, I felt bad for Charles Martin because this was his opportunity to make a name for himself, and he gets the win, but it's kind of a cheap win, and everybody knows it. So, but I think Charles Martin might get a chance to defend the title and show what he has. So, somebody like that, and if he does, we'll see what he has in him.
I'll go to you, Isha, and then you can follow up, Doodoo Brown. Your thoughts on what you saw. Unmute your mic, Isha. Isha, are you there? Are you there?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
What? Pass.
Your thoughts.
I want to talk about that trash. No, Charles Martin. No. Did what you said it was for the IBF blah 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 belt?
Yeah,
Is that the belt they took away from Fury for that shit?
Yeah.
Ooh, god damn it, I cussed. Yeah, so
Yes, you did, and you can't deny it this time. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm with Daniel. That shouldn't have been for a belt. The fight was trash, and I think Martin is trash, and I feel bad for the dude, Glazkov, because that was just gross. He says he's gonna be out for like 10 months to a year or whatever, but I don't know. I don't see Martin making any type of waves in the water. First person he goes up against is probably gonna take the belt from him if it's a defense. So yeah, moving on.
And I will move on. Doodoo Brown.
I think Charles Martin could be a good heavyweight because he was throwing them punches. If y'all was watching, not ridiculing the young man, he was throwing them punches so fast and so hard when he clipped that motherfucker. The vibration knocked his goddamn knee out of place. That motherfucker got power. You feel me? He was coming on, and that motherfucker knees got out of place. You know what he just dropped out of thin air twice? Come on now. That brother clipped him. I heard when he clipped him. And that vibration shook that motherfucking knee apart. Damn! I can't wait to see his first defense. Everybody I done seen him fight so far, he just knocked him out. They just go limp. So I don't know. I'm back off. Feel sorry for him. I mean, if he has some issues, he must have some kind of issues. Cause no healthy knee's gonna do all that from just standing there and getting clipped. So he must have had some issues before he went in that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, he can take his time, but I don't feel sorry for him because that's karma. Then he lose his last 3 fights and they gave it to him. So, it is what it is. Karma's a motherfucker. You go to a heavyweight title fight and your fucking shit give out on you, fuck him. Because he lost against Steve Cunningham. He lost against who? Abadat? Before that? Fuck him.
Oh,
man.
yeah, Cunningham's Instagram account was perfect. The response was perfect on that.
Shit. But,
I hear you. I hear your prayer. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting. I'm sorry.
Heavyweight is heating up. I'm excited. I love the heavyweight division right now because they need to do something. We got a lot of David Haye back, even though he fought that scary ass man. That Australian dude was scared to death. He threw one shot and that was out of there. He was out of there, but David Haye back, and he's a true heavyweight this time. So
Can I ask Brown a question real quick?
I got a question for you, Didi.
I was asking if I could ask Brown a question real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If let's say for instance, his first defense is against the likes of like someone like David Haye, you think he has a chance at
Charles Martin?
Yeah.
Look, he's Al Heyman fight. He ain't gonna fight nobody big.
I'm just saying. I'm giving like a hypothetical because according to I'm going to say the commentators coming up, the people that Martin has fought prior to Glazkov wasn't really, top-notch people. So what
Yeah, he
happens when
coming
he
up. I
steps
mean, he's
into
not
a
coming
ring
up.
with someone who's, you know, a little bit better than
More
Glazkov is?
experience. More
Right,
experience.
right,
And we
right.
know
I'm not
that.
disputing what you're saying, you know, that he may be a good fighter or whatever. What I'm saying is that what we've seen over the past year or two is these people
Look,
being
he's
brought
a
up
young man.
soft
He's an up and coming
getting
fighter.
wrecked.
I understand what you're saying, but listen what I'm saying. He's an up and coming fighter. You know, he's
Right,
not been around the block 500 times like all these other fighters. He's
right.
a new guy. He's coming up, you know what I'm saying, getting to do the gym. We just have to see. But from what I seen, what I saw in the ring with Glasgow, he was starting to come on that third round. He was throwing it, and Glasgow was like he must have felt the wind or something happened. That man just don't have no to give out. I don't care what y'all say. You know
But
what I'm
Right.
answer her.
saying?
What
But answer.
happened is
But
that
answer.
he stepped on his foot and then he, you know, it got tweaked. I know that part, but what I'm saying is that he's holding a belt now, so they're not gonna just let him take, you know, 3 or 4 more, you know, soft fights. They're gonna put someone in there
You
that's
know
gonna, you
that?
know,
He's Al Hammond fighter.
And my question is,
He's Al Hammond fighter.
you still haven't answered her question, Dudu. Martin versus David Haye. If they
He
was to
said,
get in the
if he
ring,
gets in there with somebody with more experience, what's going to happen? I don't know. I'm not psychic. We're going to have to see. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is he's a young guy, he's up and coming. He got a gifted belt. He's going to beat the guy anyway. Guy, the knees didn't give out. He's going to beat him anyway. You know what I mean?
right.
It
I'm
is
not
what it is.
disputing that he wasn't gonna be Glasgow. I mean, like you
Okay,
said,
he's
he
going to
looked
beat
like
him.
he was coming on in the third round. I get that, but Glasgow is not, you know, some super tough guy either.
Right, right. And
It would have been a lot
So
better.
what
right,
I'm
and he
saying is,
lost his
like, if
last
he
3
gets in
fights.
there with the likes of a David Haye, regardless if he's an Al Heyman fighter or not, do you think he has, you know, the skill set to beat someone like David Haye?
Oh, I don't know. I've only seen the kid knock people out. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying? I
I
really
hear you.
haven't seen it. I've seen
uh,
a few fights by it. He's knocked every single body out.
let's get Sean into this quickly. Sean, quickly, your assessment of what went down with Glasgow and Martin.
Well, like we were talking about the great things about Wilder and Fury and how it's great for boxing. This is just a reflection of what's bad about boxing. After a guy does what's great, beating Klitschko, they end up stripping him and creating like a phony champion where they're just going to hide a belt for a while, under Al Heyman. So it's not really a great thing for boxing because you were getting the opportunity where we're going to unify the division. All we had to do is have Wilder and Fury fight, and then one champion was going to rule the heavyweight division. Now you throw this belt in there, and Martin, who basically is a prospect, he's a good fighter, but he wasn't ready for this level of. Well, I mean, Glasgow, he's ready for that level, but he's not ready for the elite fighters at the heavyweight division. And now he's going to hold a belt. He's going to fight 3 bums probably in the next year until he's forced to fight a mandatory. And even his mandatory doesn't necessarily have to be somebody good. I mean, his mandatory could be a guy who is on BoxRec ranked 43rd, but in their division, the IBF is ranked like number 1. So, who knows where it's going to go. The best thing that could happen is maybe Wilder and Martin will fight when Povetkin has to take his belt because he won't go to Russia.
Yeah, they was on the same card. They usually do that anyway.
Let me say this before we move on. I hear your positive outlook of Martin, uh, but the problem is for me, he's still green. Um,
Yeah. He has power. And he's big.
if he was to fight
And he's young.
he still needs room to grow. Sadly, to Daniel's point, essentially his team is going to put him in there with nondescript opponents until he fights. I'd say Anthony Joshua, because I can see it right now. It's obvious. It's obvious if you're really looking that they're going to put Joshua up in that mandatory position. And he can do that in 2016. And I'm sorry, D, but Martin, if he fights Anthony Joshua, Joshua's going to beat him.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying. Well, all I'm saying is the dude. He's up and comer. He's a young kid. He's just not coming up. I seen what I seen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Joshua, shit, yeah, damn. But I just don't think Al Heyman's gonna put him up against anybody like that elite yet. Because if you mother put Joshua up there as elite, cause he's badass. I see it. I don't think he'll put him up. Not that soon. I thought, just like Sean said, and I said when I was talking to a girl, he'll fight 3 or 4 other people. That's not really all that. Watch, I'm telling you. They got to build him up. That's Allen. He's protected now.
I think he's gonna take him the Quillen route, make him drop the belt.
Look at Wilder. Wilder fought what 32 bombs before he even got the title. I mean, he was with Al Heyman them. I'm just saying they won't do it. You'll have a long streak of motherfuckers. I'm telling you what.
You mentioned David Haye. You mentioned David Haye, Doodle Brown. I'm gonna go back to you on this one. Let's talk about that fight. I mean, okay, that was a nothing fight. The guy was scared. He threw one punch, and once David Haye stepped on the gas, the fight was over. Let's move past that long term. Where do you see David Haye going here in his latest comeback?
Man, David got the potential to become champion again. The man is healed. He's a full heavyweight. He was a cruiserweight champ, and he was still around that lightweight. He's a full 230 pound or 220 some pound heavyweight now. He's healed. He seems very motivated, passionate again. He wasn't playing with he could have played around with Moray. He didn't play around with him. He got his ass out of there quick and fast. I see. He wants to fight Anthony Joshua. I don't see that fight happening no time soon. Joshua don't even want to have that. He wants some fights and build and get more experience. And I think that's fair because David's been around for a while. He's experienced. So David's gonna be fighting a bunch of who knows who. He's in line. He got to climb back up that ladder. They just not gonna throw him in there and turn him heavyweight or nothing like that no time soon. But I'm glad he's back because he's in the mix.
Francis and Joe, and then you, Sean. Your thoughts on David Haye? What did you see potential him moving forward? For me, I will say this. For me, I just want to see David Haye fight and fight consistently.
Yeah,
I'm getting annoyed with him. Having a fight, and then a fight coming up, and he having to pull out with an injury, and he's out a certain number of months, 6 months, 8 months, a year. Then you don't see him back in the ring. I just want him to be consistently active. Your thoughts? First, Francis and Joe, then you, Sean.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad that he looked good. I don't know where he stacks up as far as being a top 5 or top 10 heavyweight, but he's interesting. He sure looked good after a few years off. And, he's a veteran with a good name who's fought a lot of people, so I think it makes for interesting matchups in the heavyweight division.
I agree. If he doesn't get injured any further, I can see him having possibly a big future in the heavyweight division. In terms of his performance with Demore, I wasn't really impressed with Demore's performance anyway. I don't know why they call him Dominator because that is not how I perceived him when I saw him actually fight. I was honestly surprised that Demore hasn't lost a fight since 2004 because he doesn't even have a good jab and he doesn't have right punches, fight. So I think it's making not get into it and just be active.
Yeah, I think Fury and Anthony Joshua out there, there's people that he can fight easily. Easy fights to be made that will be interesting for him.
Right, he's an exciting fighter. He throws a lot of punches, throws a lot of hooks, a lot of uppercuts. He mixes it up on the really well. Mixes up his punches really well, and I like that about him.
Sean, Isha, and then finally Daniel. Your thoughts on David Haye?
David Haye is just trying to put himself in position for a big money fight. His biggest problem in the last few years has been motivation. He hasn't really been motivated to train and to fight people. He had big opportunities with Fury, and both times he sort of jumped out of those, and now he's in a position or trying to put himself in position for another big payday. Somebody was saying, who was it, Chisora? Somebody was saying that basically he's broke, so that's the reason why he's coming back now, trying to get another big payday because he spent all his cash. So, we'll have to see what happens, see who he's willing to step up and fight, and I heard maybe he's going to be working with, maybe he's going to be working with Heyman. So he can always they won't fight.
Everybody's gonna avoid Luis Ortiz for now. Let the fucking play. He's not gonna be. Nobody's gonna bother with him right now. He's too much of a. He's too much of a problem for these people trying to make some money right now. If he gets a belt and he's forced to fight people, then the people are forced to fight him. Nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to fight Ortiz. Nobody want to face that big motherfucker.
Continue on, Sean.
Sorry, Sean.
No, I was just saying. I mean, we have to see who he's willing to face. I mean, I think he's working with Heyman, so maybe he can come to the States and fight somebody like Cunningham or one of the many heavyweights. Yeah, even Jennings would be that would be a good fight.
I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Cunningham and Jennings myself.
Yeah.
Or even what's my boy name? Come on, Michael, help me out.
Parker?
No. He knows who I'm talking about. The heavyweight dude. I always talk about that he likes Krispy Kremes from
Areola.
Areola, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Areola in there with him too. Or even Stavern.
Garbage. Chris is done.
Yo, we all know Chris is garbage, but that's still my boy. He still brings it every time he comes, no matter how trash he is. He comes in the ring whether he's out of shape of anything. He comes in there and he fucking fights.
Yeah, he's garbage.
Yeah, I didn't say he wasn't garbage, but the motherfucker gets in the ring and he fucking fights for his money. That's for sure. He don't lay down. I tell you that much.
Let's bring Daniel into this. Your thoughts on David Haye? What you saw?
First off, let's get a bit of what Aisha said when it comes to Chris Areola. Chris Areola is everybody's fat cholo friend. That's why people like him.
Yes, he is the cholo son.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to David Haye, let's just call this what it is. It's a glorified sparring session that we saw. Because it didn't even last long.
He got his ass beat by Travis Kaufman, and they gave him that goddamn fight.
Yeah,
I
definitely give him that one, dude.
Give that motherfucker the business. And the fight before that, he lost. And they gave it to him.
Oh, and the fight before that, too. Let's be consistent. His last 3 fights were fucking give-me's, for sure.
Yep. He's fucking protected.
Yep, absolutely. But with David Haye, it's not so much what I saw in the ring, is the numbers that I saw about the viewership that are important here. 3 million.
Yeah, he built the whole O2 arena.
Yeah, he sold out the O2 arena and 3 million views, which is a lot in Britain. That tells you that David Haye economically is still a player. Now, what fights he can do? That's really up to whoever is going to run him. I've heard the rumors that he may work with Heyman, which means he might get pushed for a Martin fight, or he might get put on for a fight with Szpilka or Mansour. Something where it's exciting. In Britain alone, you can actually make a fight. How about him and Hugh Fury? Him and Hugh Fury would be a different fight, because people keep saying that Hugh Fury is actually a better technical boxer than Tyson is. So that's going to be an interesting to see where we're coming in, but he's money. David Haye is money right now. So it's good for the British heavyweight house, because there's another big player, there's another big payday. And it's exciting for the heavyweight division because David Haye let's face it, we like David Haye. He's a nice guy. He does stupid things like pull out of fights once in a while due to injury. But if he's actually properly motivated, like Shawn said, if he's properly motivated, he could do things in this division.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go into the news segment and kind of split stories up between certain folks because a little pressed for time here. I'm going to go to Francis and Joe, and then you can follow Shawn. Each of you unmute your mics. It looks like Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg, very highly anticipated fight at 122. That fight is scheduled to happen February 27th, I believe. Well, here in the States, we're going to see it on Showtime. Your thoughts on that? I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited that Showtime decided to pick this fight up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm glad we're going to be able to see it here. It should be exciting. I think they've been talking about it too for a while, so I'm glad it's finally happening, and I think it's going to be a real good fight.
Shawn? Unmute your mic.
Yeah, I mean, people were really worried that they weren't going to get to necessarily see it live on normal TV. They'd have to stream it or something, and then you never are too sure exactly what kind of quality you're going to get. I know Ness from the Boxing Voice, that's his biggest concern. If it's not on cable TV, then he doesn't know it exists. So I'm sure he's going to be very happy about it.
I will leave that statement alone in terms of, let me leave it alone before I get myself in trouble. Yeah, let me leave that alone. Proceed.
But, yeah, I mean, this is basically one of the best organized fights of 2016 at this point. A unification fight between two of the top guys at 122. And, domestically, as far as, an Irish fighter against a UK fighter, I mean, it's going to be big. It should be a great fight. Their styles are different, so it'll be interesting to see how they mesh up. And it'll be interesting to see really what level Quigg is at. I mean, people always had questions about him, but in his last fight, it looked like he sort of pushed those behind him. But now he's stepping up with a completely different fighter in Frampton, so it should be a great fight, and hopefully down the road we can see the winner of this step up and fight a Santa Cruz, a Lomachenko, a Selby, a Rigo, whoever. Obviously, it's probably more likely to be a Heyman fighter, but nonetheless.
I'm going to go to you, Isha. Mute your mic, Sean. I'm hearing a little bit of echo here.
Yep.
I'm going to go to you, Isha, then you, Doodoo Brown. On the Wilder Szpilka card, there was supposed to be a big announcement that Thurman and Shawn Porter were set to fight in March. Porter was there. Thurman wasn't there. I guess it's been announced, but we haven't heard anything from Keith Thurman yet, unless somebody can tell me something different. Do you think this
I've
fight
been
is
all
going
over
to
his
happen?
IG, and I haven't seen anything. But according to Raging Babe Michelle, the word on the curb is that it's already set for March. It's just that the venue isn't hasn't been announced, or purses haven't been announced, or whatever the case may be. But and then I can't remember who else it was on, but I saw it on Twitter where Shawn Porter was replying to, I want to say his name was Nigel Collins. I think it was no, not him, the other guy, the other commentator.
Steve Kim?
It was another commentator. I can't think of his name right now, but he was commenting on it on Twitter, and Shawn, was like, "Thank you, I just want to give all the fans, a good fight, blah blah blah." So I'm pretty sure it's happening. We just don't know exactly when or where yet. The specifics hasn't been laid out yet.
I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. You can chime in as well, Doodle Brown. Why do you think Porter hasn't been doing any promotion? Normally, he loves to talk. Just give him a mic like Bernard Hopkins. Just put him, Thurman, excuse me. Thurman, like Bernard Hopkins, put a mic in his hand. He can go on for a 10-minute conversation uninterrupted. But he's been crickets on this. Why do you think he hasn't done any promotion for this? And you can follow up on this as well, Doodle Brown.
I don't know. I mean, all the talking that he's done really hasn't netted him anywhere or anything. So I guess he's just taking the quiet route now. I have no idea why Thurman's not, talking about nothing. I mean, he's all over these little radio shows or whatever, but like you said, there's been absolutely nothing on his IG, nothing on his Twitter. You hardly ever see anything on his Twitter, but nothing. So I'm just as confused and dumbfounded as you are.
You, Doodle Brown. Do you think this fight is going to happen? A, and B, early assessment on this, your early prognostication.
Who will win?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Thurman, man. Even though he ain't speaking or talking, the fight ain't been made. But I'm just saying, he can readjust, he can box. It's gonna be a good fight. But why he's not talking, I have no idea. He's been real cool, calm, and collected.
I'm gonna go to you, Daniel. Okay, I didn't hear. I'm sorry. I'm going to you, Daniel. We talked about this last week on your show. You, myself, as well as Francis and Joe from Four Count. Rumor of a possible bout between Francisco Vargas, who fought, in many opinion, the fight of the year against Miura, and rumor of a potential bout between Vargas and Salido. Any update on that?
The main update that's mainly is that both the WBC and all sides involved are interested in making it. They've pretty much been receptive to it. Most likely, like I said, in the spring, early 2016. Hopefully, it's at StubHub. The main thing I said, to people that don't know, like the main reason this came about is because Rocky Martinez lost the purse bid, and he now has to fight a mandatory. even though his promoter's now trying to protest that, saying we've been negotiating with Salido this whole time. But with that purse gun that eliminated the Salido bout, if this happens, it's gonna be crazy because these two just come forward and just bang the crap out of people. Like I said, we saw what Vargas did to Amir after he almost was stopped because of cuts. And frankly, like I said, to me, Salido Martinez 2 was my fight of the year last year because that was just a war. And you're going to get that with Vargas and Salido. But luckily, all parties are interested. The WBC is interested. So there's a good chance that this may happen because, let's face it, Oscar De La Hoya has lived up to his word recently about making the big fight. Making a really good fight that fans want. And this would be a good fight that fans would want.
I'm going back to you, Francis and Joe. When we was on Daniel's show this past weekend, we talked about Gilberto Ramirez off of Abraham and how Abraham's promotion won the purse bid for the fight. We thought that the bout would happen in Germany, and I went off on that. News now, we're hearing that the fight will indeed happen in Vegas on the Pacquiao-Bradley undercard. Your thoughts about that, and do you think it will give Ramirez a better chance to win?
Ramirez a much better chance to win because it's a tough duty to go into Germany and fight Arthur Abraham. Like coming here, fighting in Las Vegas, his odds are much better. Ramirez, man, he's a pretty good kid and he's got some potential. If he's going to be the co-feature for Pacquiao-Bradley, it's a great opportunity for him. If he can win, get Abraham's belt, that's a huge step forward in his career.
I think that Abraham, I think technically, I think he's superior to Ramirez. I think Ramirez is good at stepping forward and throwing a lot of punches, but he's still, in my opinion, a big green. Unless he catches Abraham with something big, I can see him dominating Abraham. But Abraham is just really good at maintaining distance and throwing his jabs consistently. And once he finds a way to work inside, he's just going to pound Ramirez. That's just what I see happening. And in addition to that, Ramirez is very susceptible to getting tagged with uppercuts and getting tagged with straight punches, and those happen to be Abraham's best punches. So I think for Ramirez, and for his benefit, to his credit, I think it's best that the fight is in Vegas. I think that would give him a better opportunity to come out the winner.
I'm going to go to you, Shawn, with this last story. Story on ESPN.com, Dan Rayfield, ESPN Boxing, interview with Lee Selby. And according to Selby, that he wants to fight in the U.S. often, wants to fight in the U.S. more, unmute your mic, Shawn. And he's targeting a unification bout with either Gary Russell Jr. or Santa Cruz at the end of the year. Your thoughts on the move? I personally like his ambition, the fact that he wants to fight here in the States more often. Your thoughts?
Hey, I mean, that seems to be a trend for a lot of the UK fighters. For some reason, I don't understand why, because, I mean, we know that they do pretty well in the UK as far as pay-per-view and domestic sort of interest. You know, boxing in the UK is pretty huge, so, you know, they get a lot of support and sell out big venues, and, you know, their pay-per-views are not very large as far as financial, so they end up doing a lot of those, especially under what's his face, Eddie Hearn. But it's great that he wants to come because there's questions about him. His resume is still a little weak, and there's lots of great opponents at 126 for him in the States. I would like to see him fight Gary Russell. I mean, Gary Russell has a title. He has a title. It would be a great unification fight. Two guys who people are both high on, and they both think that they're really talented fighters. But they both sort of have some holes in their resume, and fighting one another, I mean, that would be an excellent fight. I don't think Santa Cruz would fight either one of those guys yet, because, you know, I think Heyman is sort of pushing him as his big money fighter, but we will see what happens. And then, like we said earlier, I mean, it's very likely that Frampton, based on his win over Quigg, if he wins, will most likely move to 126 as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the fights during this weekend as we start to shut down the show. I want to focus mainly on the PBC on Fox card. I want to start talking from the undercard up to the main event. I'm gonna go to you on this one, Doodle Brown, because we're talking about here in the private chat. We're talking about this fight. Dominic Breazeale, undefeated heavyweight, who I felt lost his last time out, fighting Amir Mansour, who I like as a fighter. I think he's dangerous. We were talking before the fight, and you were saying that you think Mansour will beat Dominic Breazeale. I happen to agree with that. Preview that fight quickly.
Yeah, he's gonna come in there like a bullet on that ass. You feel me? If Dominic ain't got his jab on point, he can forget it. That's the only way you can stop Mansour. Is keep a jab in his face. Dabbing 1-2, 1-2. If he ain't on point with that, he in trouble. That's why I'm picking Monsour. I just have a feeling. Some tell me he gonna get that guy out of there. He didn't get that last football guy out of there, but he sure was trying. What was his name? Was it Polio Chicken? What that boy's name is? Damn. But I think he'll get this one. I don't see nothing. I'm not impressed with nothing Dominic can do. His height. I've seen his last fight. That just sucked. So I'm definitely going for Mansour. I'm going for Danny. I think Danny will knock out Robert. Robert's gonna walk into one of them damn left hooks or something, get his ass out of there. Who else? Sammy, Vasquez, I got him too.
I'm going to you, Isha, then you, Francis, and Joe. The thing that disappoints me about Breazeale, I don't think he's always in shape. I think he fights lazy at times in the ring. And against Mansour, a veteran, who always come to fight, so he loses some, he wins some, but he has power. He has power, and I think he can get to Dominic Breazeale with shots. Your thoughts?
Dominique fights light skin, that's all I'm going to say. But nah, Dominique does not like to be touched. He's very, very bothered when he's touched. And if you look back at like his last couple of fights, you can see he
Hold
does.
Hold up.
What?
Did you say he fight light skin?
Yeah. Let me finish. Dang. But nah, he's real he's real Prince-like. I mean, I don't know no other way to express what I'm trying to say here. The kid does not like being touched. He's real bothered when he's pressed. Okay, there you go. That's what I'm trying to say. He's real bothered when he's pressed, and he doesn't fight tall like he should. He doesn't keep his jab out there to keep the people off of him. So we know how Monsour is. Monsour is a fucking goon. He's going to go in there, and he's going to rush in there like a fucking chicken with his head cut off and try to take this boy's head off because he knows that he doesn't like to be touched. I know he's obviously he's watched the tapes on him, so he knows what the kid's weak points is, and I just think he's just going to go in there and just get mollywopped, basically. I don't see a way that they're going to be able to protect him with this one right here. Unless some fucking freaky shit happens where Mansour gets dropped, I don't know. I really don't see that happening. But hey, it's boxing; anything can happen. But I don't think Breazeale is gonna make it out of this one with that O intact. Sammy Vasquez, I've grown to like him.
Let me move on before. Let me ask everybody else.
Okay, my bad.
But the thing I will say that no disrespect to my fairer skinned brothers and sisters out there, but that line was kind of funny. I'm gonna go to you, Francis and Joe, and then Daniel, and then you can conclude. Sean, your thoughts on Dominic Breazeale and Mansour?
Yeah, we're gonna find out how good he is because Amir Mansour is gonna make him fight. Mansour, maybe not the best skill-wise, but I mean, he's a grown man and he's going to fight you. So Dominic Breazeale is good size and he's got some technical skills, but I mean he's never really been in there with somebody like Mansour. So I think I'm excited to see the fight because it's either going to be Dominic Breazeale stepping up and showing that he's a man and that he belongs in the heavyweight division, or he's just going to get his ass beat.
They say pressure does fight.
Go ahead, Francis.
Pressure does fight.
I actually think the latter is going to happen because Mansour is just a beast. I mean, he's relentless, and he's just going to go after Breazeale. I know that Breazeale is undefeated, but just watching tape of them in the ring, Mansour is just going to attack him. He's not going to allow any type of distance to be created in that ring whatsoever. He's going to smother him, and he's just going to attack Breazeale. So I hope Breazeale has a good game plan because I agree with you. I think that he gets kind of swung a little bit lazy in the ring sometimes. Sometimes, and I think he's going to pay dearly for that.
Daniel, Shawn.
Oh Jesus! Oh man, he should. That was a perfect phrasing for Breazeale there. Fighting light skin. That's pretty much what it is. I agree with you, Mike, that he lost his last fight. He was gifted a decision there. And nobody could justify it. And if they try, I will laugh. But yeah, Mansour is gonna take that head off because
It's gonna be a muggle.
he's gonna come and bum rush you. It doesn't matter how skilled, unless, like I said, unless Breazeale actually fights tall and uses that jab, Mansour's just gonna bum rush him, and it's gonna get ugly. Because remember, Mansour was probably this close to getting Wilder this time. So maybe he's eyeing it down the line, or maybe he's eyeing Charles Martin now. So he's gonna come in there.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
That might end up real bad for Breazeale in the end.
Shawn. You got your mic muted, Shawn. Unmute your mic.
I know. You got my mic muted.
Yeah, echo, sir, echo.
I think Dominic Breazeale's going to win. He's going to use his 8-inch reach advantage, his height. He's going to put Mansour at the outside, throwing big, wild, crazy punches, trying to land something big to KO him. He's going to be trying that all night, chasing him. When he gets inside, Breazeale's just going to lay on him and hold him and tire him out, and he's just going to get frustrated and try to land that big shot, and it's just never going to land, and he's going to lose a decision.
So we have one disagreeing opinion. My problem is Breazeale, he doesn't always use his height.
Exactly. And he always uses jab.
He's also a young fighter. He's only 30, and he hasn't been fighting that long.
And I don't think he's a pit bull. You gotta be a pit bull in there to deal with Mansour, or highly skilled. And he's not that highly skilled.
Well, he is a quarterback who's used to being rushed by the linebacker, so this is just another day on the field for him.
This is boxing, son. This ain't NFL. It's not NFL. This is not NFL. I'm gonna go back to you. I'm gonna go to you, Daniel. Talk about this next fight. Sammy Vasquez, highly thought of prospect, fighting Amir Martinez, who I don't care what anybody says, he beat Robert Guerrero when they fought a few months back. Intriguing fight here. Your thoughts?
This was interesting. This was interesting because I like Sammy Vasquez. I like my fellow vets fighting. So he's, like I say, good kid, good backstory. Fights really, really well. And Aaron Martinez, like I said, like people have said, he beat Robert Guerrero. I think even Robert Guerrero admitted it, I think, in the press conference that he had for the Garcia fight. It's an interesting fight. This is technically a wild card for the WBC tournament to the welterweight division. So they're both going to come in. They're both going to impress. I think personally, probably the higher technical ability of Sammy Vasquez is probably going to win out. But it's going to be an entertaining fight because they both know what's on the line.
Isha Dudu-Brown, you was talking about this fight before. Go ahead.
I disagree. I think Vasquez is just going to go in there and whoop the shit out of Martinez. You got to look at it like this. Guerrero is not, he's a ghost of his former self. So when the person that Martinez fought isn't the Guerrero that we seen before. You have Sammy about to go in there, young dude, hungry as fuck, and very talented, quick hands, and you're putting him up against someone who gives him no threat and power at all. So he's about to go in there and just, whoop this dude's ass and, call it a day. He's going to move. He's going to be everywhere that fucking Martinez is not. You understand what I'm saying? Martinez is really fucking slow. And I don't think it's going to be as competitive as everyone thinks it is. I think Sammy Vasquez, this is a major showcase fight to show them that, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to give me someone better now. This is it. Stop giving me these people. I'm about to whoop his ass, show you guys that this is nothing to me. Move me up, give me something else better. I don't think it's going to be as competitive as everyone thinks it is. I got Sammy winning this like in the first 3 rounds, bro. Seriously.
Doodle Brown, Francis, and Joe, and then finally Shawn.
About the Vasquez fight?
Yeah, Vasquez.
You said it, man. But I don't give him. I probably give him middle rounds. I give him a couple rounds to fill the guy out and give the guy. I'll probably give him about 4 or 5 rounds. He get that dude out of that, man.
Francis, Joe, and then Shawn.
Well, if Sammy can cream Aaron Martinez, I'll be impressed. Because Aaron Martinez is pretty scrappy. Vargas is a more technical fighter, got more boxing skill, but man, it sure seems like Martinez can hang with anybody. So I'm excited for the fight. I think it's pretty evenly matched up, and I'm excited to watch it.
I agree. I think that Vasquez, I think he's just going to be too fast for Martinez. It's not that I don't think Martinez has a chance of being like he's got a minor infection. But I think Vasquez is easily going to outpoint him if it doesn't go to an outcome. He throws out of confidence. I don't think Martinez is going to victory on this one.
Shawn? Your mic is muted, Shawn.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, Aaron Martinez, you got to give him credit. He's a tough guy. I don't think he's going to get stopped, but he doesn't have the skill to compete with Sammy Vasquez. He's got tons of boxing ability, and he's going to go in there, and he's going to use those feet and that jab and those combinations, and he's going to have an easy day with this guy who's just going to be standing in front of there waiting to get picked apart. But I give it to Martinez because he's going to make it a fight. It's going to be similar to Thurman versus Guerrero, where Thurman was having his way with Guerrero, but Guerrero made it a fight by staying involved the whole time. And it's going to be similar. Vasquez is going to be a big coming out fight for him. He's going to look good. He doesn't have the big elite power, so I mean I don't see him getting out Aaron Martinez, who has always been a good fighter and has been in with much better competition and has went the distance with those guys. So I don't see how Vasquez is going to get him out, but I think it's going to be an easy decision.
I'm going to agree with everybody else here, the overall assessment here. If Sammy Vasquez is the fighter that we think he is, he should have his way with Aaron Martinez and box him comfortably, possibly stop him late. But I just think that Vasquez is the goods. Him and Errol Spence right up there, top prospect at 147 pounds right now, as well as Saddam Ali. So yeah, I just think that Vasquez, he will be too much for Aaron Martinez. You mentioned Guerrero. I'm going back to you, Shawn. Guerrero fighting Danny Garcia, DSG. I mean, look, y'all know my opinion about Danny Garcia. I don't think he's that great of a fighter. I was really put off by what his dad said, but that's a side topic. But he will be more than enough for Guerrero, Garcia doesn't have great footwork, but Guerrero, he has no footwork. And I think he's a little long in the tooth. Garcia with the speed, with the skill, with the counterpunching ability, he will be too much in my opinion for Robert Guerrero. Guerrero could come on late like he did against Thurman, to Jacob Rivera's point, who's predicting the upset here. But from my point of view right now, I just have to go with DSG by decision here. Shawn, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we know what to expect from Guerrero. I mean, he's tough, and he has no quit in him, which is why he's been at the level that he's been at. It's never been based on skill. He's not an elite level fighter, and he never was. Danny Garcia, he's the guy that he never loses. Like, even when people expect him to lose and he looks like he's against the guy who should beat him, he still finds a way to win. So we have to give him props for that. He's always able to do what he needs to do to get the victory. It'll be interesting to see how well he gets rid of Guerrero, just so we can compare him now that he moved to 147 to Thurman, who did very well against Guerrero. just to sort of try to evaluate what level these two guys are on. You know, a lot of people hated on the fight, but I think for his second fight at 147, it's a good fight. I mean, Paulie Malignaggi and Guerrero, they're two big-name fighters. They both have limited power, and they both, you know, aren't much of a threat. But it's both good fights to sort of build your name at 147 and sort of lead you into a really big fight later on in 2016, maybe against Khan, a rematch or something down the line. But regardless, I think it'll be a fun fight only because Guerrero is the type of guy who he will bring it. Even if he's losing, he's still going to fight.
Doodle Brown,
Guerrero's gonna run into that left hook. Guerrero's gonna run into that left hook and get knocked out.
That no look bullshit that Danny does, that shit's weird. I have a question for Shawn though. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Never mind, carry on. I didn't forget. I'm old.
What were you saying, Doodle Brown? Your assessment of you said what was going to happen? Are you there, Doodle Brown?
I'm tired, Rob. Am I on this motherfucker?
Okay, you're back.
You
Go
don't
ahead.
hear me?
Go ahead. You're back.
Huh?
You're back. Go ahead.
Hello? Oh. I said, Danny gonna knock him out, man. He gonna get that left hook on him. Girl is very aggressive. He can be very, very aggressive. And Danny likes to stand there and try to pick motherfuckers apart. He'll move a little bit, but he'll time your ass. He gonna time him coming in. He gonna catch Robert right on the chin and put his ass to sleep. And I hope he retire him and his damn daddy.
Tell him why you mad, son. Okay, I remembered my question.
Go ahead, Isha.
Okay, so Shawn, do you think that Danny convincingly won his last 3 fights?
His last 3?
Or 2. I think it's the last 2.
Well, he definitely convincingly beat Paulie Malignaggi.
Oh, not that one. No.
I could beat Paulie Malignaggi.
The Herrera. Okay, let's go to the Herrera fight. That's what I'm talking about. Do you think he convincingly beat Herrera?
Well, you say against Herrera and Peterson.
Yes, those two.
No, I thought he lost both fights.
Okay.
That motherfucker protected. I'm telling you.
I think he's highly favored in the Al Heyman stable because it's like, huh?
A Heyman fighter. He's protected.
Right. He's highly favored in the stable for sure.
Well, his father exposed that, but I went off on that last week, and I went off it over the weekend. So I'm gonna save my venom for right now. I'm gonna save my venom because yeah. Let me move on before I start cussing. Daniel, Francis, and Joe, your thoughts on DSG and Guerrero?
I'll let out the venom for you. This is a bullshit fight for a title.
Oh wow.
It is a bullshit. Honestly, what has Danny this is Danny Garcia's second fight, and he's already. I understand the WBC rules where the 140 champ can go and challenge for the title, but I see if he's already champion. Danny Garcia was stripped for that title, so I think he lost that right. But in all honesty, like I said, this is gonna be either a fight where Danny Garcia is gonna catch Robert Guerrero with a hook, like Doodle Brown says, and probably knock him out, or Robert Guerrero is going to drag him into a war of attrition. I personally think it's going to be the latter. Because...
So you're picking upset, officially?
I'm going with Jay, yeah. I'm going with my boy Jacob Rivera from last week.
I'm with Daniel on this one.
Yeah. Because I just think Guerrero's going to try to take him to a war of attrition, and in all honesty, Garcia's not really as skilled as Thurman. So Thurman was able to weather that storm early on in his stand-up skill. I don't think Danny's going to be able to do that this time around because he doesn't have the footwork that Thurman does. So you add that, and you add the fact that Guerrero is going to keep coming, even as diminished as he is. He may catch Danny in the same too, and like I said, you might see Lucas win, but the fact that I'm most mad about this fight is that this fight, for some mundane reason, is for a title.
That's politics. I don't deal with politics. I want to see Danny get punched in the face. That's all I care about.
Guerrero will give you that.
And I'm really,
Guerrero will give you that.
I dislike Danny.
All them guys are sitting on there. Ain't nobody knocking
Oh yeah,
out.
yeah.
Ain't nobody knocking out or dropping. And Robert ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, dude. My point is that I dislike.
And now he's fighting for a fucking title. He lose every time he go out now. Shit.
I dislike Danny, so any chance I get to see him get punched in the face, I'm all for the person he's fighting against. So
Yeah,
that's just me.
I'm kind of with Isha on that because I'm not the greatest Garcia fan. I think he's a bit overrated. But let's bring Francis and Joe into this. DSG, Robert Guerrero, your thoughts?
Well, I'm a fan of Robert Guerrero. I'm not a fan of Danny Garcia. But watching Robert Guerrero for the last few years, it just seems like he's going the wrong way. I don't think it's the same Guerrero that beat Burrow, and I don't give him much chance in this fight. I think it's only a matter of sleep has the same fight. And I'm predicting Garcia by a knockout.
I think Guerrero is much since we saw him face Burrow. I think Guerrero has a lot of balls and power and courage, but the same way he brings to the table because technically he's really just not that good. He doesn't have any footwork, he's flat-footed, doesn't really have a defensive strategy, he just crosses forward, throws punches, and then just hopes to catch his opponent. And I don't think Garcia's really going to allow that to happen. He's just too good of a counter puncher. And those are the kind of fighters that Guerrero struggles with. So I see Garcia by decision, possibly by knockout, deal. I don't think that Guerrero is going to be that much of a challenge for him unless he can kind of create a pressure.
And I think we're going to start to shut down the show on that note. I'm going to go around the panel here. Starting with you, Francis and Joe, since you're new to the show, your first time here on the Pound for Pound Boxing Report. For folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know where they can find you.
Thanks for having us. You can check us out at 4boxingnews.com or via Twitter at 4boxingnews.
The casual fan, Isha, for folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know where they can find you.
On Twitter, the casual boxing fan. That's me. I don't know shit.
The one and only.
Garcia.
The one and only, the aspiring comedian, MF and Brown. For folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know where they can hit you up.
Oh, I got everything on the computer, man. Shit. But nobody be trying to fuck with me. I don't know why. Oh, weak-minded ass motherfucker.
It's because you remind them of Am Wolf. They think they gonna get knocked the fuck out.
I guess. Barbie Boxing Forum. I'm on Facebook every day, all day. Shit. What else I got? You go, my YouTube page. Check me out. I got some silly shit up there. I do whatever. Doodle Brown show on YouTube, man. Just Twitter, Doodle Brown, everything.
Mine already changed.
Google me, motherfucker.
Jacob, you came on late as we close it down the show, man. Close it down the show. Unmute your mic right quick. I'll just ask you quickly. Quickly your thoughts on Danny Garcia Guerrero before we head out. I already know, but just remind the folks.
So reminder, thanks. I know I joined the show late, guys, but I think Guerrero is going to take this. I wrote an article about it on why I think so. Danny Garcia has always been kind of the overachiever. I think he hasn't looked that great in his last fights. I think Guerrero has a chip on his shoulder and that he's going to come out and put it on Danny Garcia and get that low to go away.
And while you're here, for folks who want to talk boxing or otherwise, let the folks know where they can find you.
I can be found on Twitter at JRATM23, and then I got the boxing site, jabhookboxing.com. And actually, I was able to get an interview with Robert Guerrero, so I posted that up earlier this week.
Oh, cool. And thanks for the review on iTunes, by the way. I really appreciate that.
For sure.
Sean Newton joined us live from Taiwan. For folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know where they can find you.
Yeah, you'll see me here and on the YTBC making videos and commenting abroad.
And Daniel Carpio joined us live from NY. For folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know where they can hit you up.
Right. You can find me on Twitter at Raucus99. Like I said, so me, Joe, and Francis, we do a show on Sundays. We do the same thing. We discuss the latest news in boxing. And like I said, shameless self-plug here, but write for the Inscriber magazine. I just put out 2 articles for the last couple of days. One of them is actually on the status of the PBC at the moment, and the most recent was what we talked about, Wilder Fury. We might see this in 2016. We might see this.
And check out it. And again, check out his weekend show. I was on there last weekend, along with Francis and Joe from For Boxing News. So check them out there. The folks want to box, and J Dill, who had to leave, who had to dip out. He was having technical problems on his end. J Dill Patriot on Twitter, Dilltown on YouTube. He does a lot of excellent commentary. He's doing a series right now describing the careers of past greats like Sugar Ramos, Carlos Ortiz, and at my request, he's going to do a recap of the career of Eusebio Pedrosa and Jose Napoli, so check him out there on YouTube. Again, for folks who want to talk boxing or anything else with me, y'all know what it is. Brother JR on Twitter at BrotherJR76. If you want to find information about Pound for Pound Boxing Report, again, please go to the blog page, b4bboxingreport.wordpress.com. Look to the right of the blog page. You can find links to find us all over the social media, all over the internet, all over the interwebs. Facebook, Twitter, G+, YouTube, Pinterest, RSS feed, Stitcher Radio, on Flipboard Magazine. We're on SoundCloud and iTunes finally. The email address, b4bboxingrpt@gmail.com. All that information is over there, as well as links to the Inscriber, as well as links to For Boxing News, and a host of other boxing sites and media brands. I'm going to put your stuff on there too soon, Doodle Brown. I just haven't got time to do it yet. On the next episode of Pound for Pound Boxing Report, we will do a recap of Garcia, Guerrero, Vasquez, Martinez, Dominic, Breazeale, Amir, Mansour. We will also do a preview of the rematch between Sergey Kovalev and John Pascal. So we'll talk about that fight specifically and any other boxing news that come along. So, for Francis and Joe for Boxing News, for Francis and Joe from For Boxing News, for Doodoo Brown, for Isha the Casual Boxing Fan, for Sean Newton, for Jacob Rivera, I'm your host, Michael. This has been episode 111 of Pound for Pound Box Report. Y'all have a good evening, good night.
Peace.
Peace out.